Be honest, you've been at this point, where the chats from your friends stop ringing, where the promises of social support evaporate like smoke, where you try to call, searching for presence, but all you get is the sound of silence. You look up towards the sky, and the question comes out, God, where did you go? Why did you leave me when I needed you most? You feel like this is punishment, don't you? You feel like this is a penalty for your sins. Fast cut. No, this is not punishment. This is the truth motivational speakers will never tell you. The total solitude you are feeling right now is not a punishment, but a special invitation. This is a test given only to those who are already chosen, a privilege from God so you can mature overnight. This is the accelerated faith test. And in this video, I will show you why God removed everyone from your life, just so He could be alone with you. Let's define it. What is the accelerated faith test? It is a phase intentionally created by divine power where all your horizontal support systems, people, money, status are pruned, not to hurt you, but to cleanse the noise. We are all, by nature, dependent creatures. We seek validation from a partner, comfort from friends, and security from a bank account. All those are mortal support systems, which can collapse at any moment. And God knows this is our greatest weakness. This test occurs when God says, I want you to see how strong you are without all those crutches. He is not taking, He is merely pulling away what shouldn't be your foundation. It hurts. Yes, but remember, pain is the price of accelerated change. The first and most painful pillar of this test, the purge, the removal of horizontal dependence. God will not be your priority if you still have a backup plan besides Him. And that backup plan is usually people. God knows you won't truly seek Him as long as the doors to your friend's house, your old office, or your ex-partner's heart are still slightly ajar. You will always return to the easy source of comfort, and that source is never stable. This is why the best people, the closest people, or even family, are permitted to move away or disappoint you. It is a technique of spiritual isolation so that human voices no longer become the noise that covers God's signal. Suddenly, your prayers change. You no longer ask, when will they return? Or when will this money come? Instead, you ask, God, what do you want from me? That is the shift from a transactional relationship to an essential relationship. It only happens when you are alone. Harsh self-criticism. Stop complaining. This test is not about how much you lose, but about how much space you are preparing for the infinite source. Accept this cleansing. Once the noise of human expectation is silenced, a new problem emerges. The deafening quiet. It's in this deep, uncomfortable silence that the accelerated faith test truly begins. The goal of this phase is not just silence, but listening. The second pillar is about the direct line. You have been wired your entire life to receive signals horizontally through conversation, applause, or social media notifications. Now that the human towers are down, you must tune into the vertical signal. Here is where most people fail and run back to human comfort. They confuse the whispers of their own anxiety, their ego, or their past failures with the voice of God. Harsh critique. If the voice you hear brings fear, condemnation, or tells you to seek revenge, it's not the signal you are looking for. The true signal of God in solitude is characterized by three things: clarity, peace, and direction. It doesn't tell you how difficult the journey is, only the destination. It gives you the blueprint for the next single step. That is the proof you are finally hearing the direct line. The purge hurt. The direct line was difficult to tune in, but the reward for passing those two tests is the third pillar, the unshakable core. This is where your identity becomes indestructible, because it is no longer dependent on human perception. For years, your value was a stock market chart, fluctuating wildly based on external approval. A compliment, a promotion, a relationship status. When you are alone with God, your value becomes a divine constant. It is non-negotiable and requires no validation. You are now forced to ask the most important question. Who are you when no one is watching? The isolated environment reveals the true material you are made of. If you still feel worthless in solitude, you are never relying on God's valuation in the first place, only man's. Harsh truth. This unshakable strength is what makes you ready for the next phase of life. God isolates you not just for introspection, but for gifting. He gives the greatest responsibilities to those whose foundations are tested and certified by Him alone. You have been upgraded from an ordinary house to an anchor institution. You entered this video feeling punished. I hope you are leaving it feeling privileged. The solitude was not a detour. It was the express lane. The moment you realized you had no one but God was the moment you became the most powerful person on earth. Now you are ready to be used. Go back into the world, not to seek comfort, but to give Italiano. Not to find support, but to be the support. Your isolation made you the unshakable foundation that others will now look to for strength. If this video found you in your moment of solitude, do not click away. Use the comments below, not for complaining, but for celebrating your breakthrough. Tell me, what is the greatest gift you received when you realized you had no one but God? Let your testimony become the anchor for someone else who feels alone right now.